Screensavers. I'm Leo Laporte.
And I'm Martin Sargent, in for Kate Patello, who's on vacation all this week.
He's a little taller than Kate, too. Thank you. It's good to have you here.
Hey, it's great to be here, as always.
And by the way, thank you for filling in the week I was not here also, when you did, and we appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us. And yes, this is not a rerun. This is the real deal. Coming up in today's show, we're going to show you how to sing to your computer. I'm going to be singing a little later on. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I might get people to tune out.
I don't think I was singing.
And we're going to show you how your computer will recognize that singing and actually make sheet music out of it.
Pretty cool. Also, our recordable DVD device is ready for the prime time. We're going to take a look at the different specifications and let you know.
I've been waiting for recordable DVD.
Everyone's been waiting.
This is the product.
In fact, Wired Magazine said it was one of the top 10 vaporwares of this year.
We'll find out. We'll find out. Then later, some great software for kids from 9 months to 8 years old. 9 months. They call it lapware. It's on today's Fresh Gear. So, in the chat room today, we're going to ask you about how much more time you're spending online than you used to. And this all comes from
.com Guy. You probably heard about .com Guy.
Not his real name.
No, he changed his name. His name is Mitch something. I don't remember what his real name is. But he changed his name legally to .com Guy because he is going to spend the next year locked up in a house. His only outlet to the outside world is going to be the Internet. He's going to order all of his food online.
Oh, man.
Everything that he needs in order to survive online. He's not allowed to leave the house. He is allowed to get visitors, and he's allowed to go into the backyard.
So people can come see him. I mean, he's not going to be completely without any social.
That's right.
But he is going to. But he just can't walk down the street.
You got it.
And now, by the way, he's going to make, doing this from the sponsorships and everything, about $100,000.
And it's funny how they're paying him. They're paying him incrementally. $24 in the first month, then it doubles every month.
Oh, interesting.
This is to keep him in the house so he doesn't get up and leave.
He only makes
By the end of those 12 months, if you actually do the math, it's just over $100,000.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So our question is not whether you would do that, because you'd have to be nuts to do that.
Yeah, thank God this guy is locked in a house for a year, because I don't want to run into him.
But do you find, this is true, that you're spending less time outdoors because of the computer? We know you're spending less time watching TV. We know you're spending probably less time with your family and friends, but are you spending less time out of the house? Are you?
No, I don't think so. I think I go out of the house just as much as I used to. Certain things, though, such as Christmas shopping, I will do online so as to avoid the lines and all of that. You know the story.
I'm of the opinion I am not spending more time on the computer, but I would hate for you to set a stopwatch and time me, because I may be really wrong on that. What do you think? Here's your chance. Take our web poll at thescreensavers.com. While you're there, you click on that talkback feature. You tell us what you think of it and of .com Guy, and whether what are you doing if you're not spending more time on the computer?
Or give us a call on the telephone. It's 888-989-7879. Or join us in the chat room at chat.zdnet.com. And when you get there, click on the Screensavers room.
Yeah, that's a great place to be, unless you got a net cam. We would like to get you on the air. Now, I did a couple of radio interviews over the break, and people said, well, how do you get live netcam calls?
Well, you got to go into the netcam Cineplex.
That's right. We have a chat room just for people with netcams, so that they can go in there and they effectively raise their hand, and our lovely moderators in there, who are today Shannon, Roger, and Jennifer Mark. In the deep background there, those are the folks who are tapping away, pretending to be busy in the netcam Cineplex.
And they will be in there for the entire year, not allowed to leave.
He looks good in the suit. I don't know if you saw Call for Help, but Roger looks so fine in his suit.
I've never seen Roger in a suit.
Good-looking guy. He was still wearing the blue sneakers, though, and he still goes like this. Join him in the netcam Cineplex, and if you get on the air with us, you're going to get one of these fabulous Screensavers magnets as seen on TV. You can frame your picture, and there is Johnny Shanks, the late great Johnny Shanks, and David Yatt, our floor director, having a personal moment. Now, by the way, did you have any Y2K problems?
I had no Y2K problems.
Me neither. Any Y2K problems out there?
We'd like to hear about that. We haven't heard of any. I don't know if you have, but it's a very, very, very minor thing.
I think there's a little bit of anger. Don't you?
I think some people are upset.
Yeah, what was this all about? Why were people? And if I want to just say, if you watch CDTV over the last 18 months, we have been very quick to say there's not going to be a problem. Don't panic. The far worse to panic and do something about. And so I'm not going to say we told you so, but But honestly, there was no problem.
I thought there was going to be some social problems, wackos doing this or that, but there really wasn't even any of that, was there?
Probably because people were scared and stayed home. So good news, no Y2K problem. If you watch ETV, you knew there would be no Y2K problem. I'm sorry that all this fuss was made over it, and I think a lot of people were scared unnecessarily.
Let's see what John thinks. John joined us on the ZDTV 3Com Netcam network from Baraga, Michigan.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
We're great. Any Y2K problems in your neck of the woods?
Not really, only that my friend's computer didn't roll over to January 1st. But
now, what did he do? Did he set the time and date by hand?
Uh-huh.
And did it stick?
Yeah.
So that's it?
Yep.
One of our camera guys on the other side at the Call for Help show, VCR didn't roll over. Set the time and date, it's fine. So a couple of little things like that. So how about on our chat topic? Would you be interested in living in a room for a year?
Well, not necessarily a room, but I would live in a house and be able to go in the backyard. And
$100,000's a lot of money.
Yeah.
How about you? Have you noticed you're spending more time on the computer than before?
Yeah, now that I got like my separate phone line and stuff for my bedroom.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What can we do for you, John?
Oh, I have a Sony Vaio S250 laptop.
Laptop, okay.
And it only has 32 megs of RAM.
Yep.
And I was planning on buying RAM like this week, and I was wondering if I should get the 32 megabyte, so then I'd have 64, or the 64 megabyte chip, so then I'd have 96.
Well, what are you running, first of all?
Photoshop.
Yeah, that might be one case to go to 96.
Yeah, Photoshop is one of those applications where you want as much RAM as you can possibly have. It's extremely intensive. I would suggest going 96.
Depends also on the size of the photos that you're editing. Windows itself, you're using 98?
Yeah.
Yeah, Windows 98 probably okay at 64.
They say that's the sweet spot for 98.
You don't see a whole bunch of improvement in performance going to 96, except if you use multiple programs simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
The whole bottom line comes down to you want to do as much work as you can in RAM. You don't want to have the operating system start using the hard drive for swap space.
Right.
So if it starts to run out of memory, it starts using the hard drive as virtual memory, and that's so much slower than RAM, your whole thing slows down. It doesn't break, doesn't crash more, it just slows down.
Even if you have the fastest hard drive.
Right.
It's
not anywhere near as fast as RAM. So what you have to, one way you can kind of judge this right now, John, is look at, you know about the resource monitor in here, right? If you go to programs, programs, accessory, not actually, I shouldn't say the resource monitor, the system monitor it's called. It's in system tools, system monitor. Now it may not be installed, but it'll find it on your Windows disk and you can install it after the fact. You can take a look at, right now we're looking at the memory manager swap file in use and kernel processor usage. That's the default. What you really want to see is how much of this swap file it's using. So start using your Photoshop and look at how much swap file it's using, and you'll get a very good idea of how much you need. If you're only editing 1 megabyte video, pictures, you probably don't need 96.
Okay.
Especially if you're not running Word and Internet Explorer at the same time. But you can actually see what your usage is. Look how much swap file you're using. Look how much memory you're using. And you'll probably get a fairly good idea of how much memory you need. Okay. Now, if you're going to go to Windows 2000, you're going to want more than 64 megs.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Is get the 96 now, because in the future you're going to want more for all the new apps that are coming out. So
Windows 2000 really is like 128. I hate to say. I think we're going to talk about this more, I'm sure, as the year goes by. I think a lot of people are going to be going to Windows 2000. If you're buying memory, it might be a good idea to consider that. In general, though, you don't want to buy a whole lot more memory until you go to your next motherboard, because what we're finding is memory technologies are changing so rapidly that you buy memory now, you're probably not going to be able to take it with you to the next computer.
It is more expensive now, right?
It is a little bit. You know what?
The price just
notebook memory. Notebook memory is so expensive because they charge a premium. You're going to be paying a premium no matter what. So probably you wouldn't see a lot more. One place you might want to look at is igo.com. www.igo.com. This is a place that's, I think, let me just make sure, but it's a mobile computer vendor, and one of the things they do is they sell non-Sony memory for Vios. So when you buy the Sony memory, it's more expensive. So if you can get third-party memory, let's just make sure they sell memory. Do they? They sell all sorts of stuff for notebooks, but I don't know if they sell memory. What you want to do is look around for non-Sony memory, whether it's at Kingston or... where are some of the other memory vendors? Micron has one called Crucial.com.
Yeah, Crucial. That's what it's always advertising now.
You might find third-party memories a little cheaper. Okay. Hey, coming up after the break, I'm going to sing. I'm leaving. Everybody's leaving. I'm going to demonstrate a program that's going to help you manage all those window functions, too, when Screensavers continues. Don't go away. Coming up on the next Screensavers, we often hear about how computers and the internet have made the information age possible.
But did you know there was another gilded age of information technology, not unlike the internet revolution?
Fascinating. Explore the empire of the air, the history of radio on the next Screensavers. Coming up on the next Screensavers, we often hear about how computers and the internet have made the information age possible.
But did you know there was another gilded age of information technology, not unlike the internet revolution?
Fascinating. Explore the empire of the air, the history of radio on the next Screensavers. It's time for the weekly Windows tip. I did say I'd sing, didn't I? This week, manage your Windows functions with TweakEye. Now, normally Kate does the Windows tips, but this is one I love. I can get behind. This goes for Windows 95, 98, even Windows NT, even Windows 2000.
Now, I've heard of TweakUI.
We talk about that all the time, and
This
that's
is
from
new to me,
Microsoft.
I
This
must
is
say.
not from Microsoft, but it's very similar. It's kind of TweakUI on steroids.
There you go.
All right, from Germar Software. And by the way, this only works for 15 days, and then you have to pay for the shareware fee. But if you're quick, you can do almost everything you want to do, and then just uninstall
What does it cost?
That's a good question.
Probably about $15. I think it's $15.
Let's see. Maybe we'll click about, and it will tell us $39 for 2 tools, $15 for just the one. So this is the same folks that do Sandra, I guess, which is another wonderful tool we like a lot. Oops, I just closed it. Let me reopen it. What TweakEye does, if you're used to TweakUI, you'll recognize a lot of the functions. If you've been watching our Windows tips, you'll recognize a lot of the functions. It has a lot of the tweaks we've talked about. For instance, you know how we've talked about putting a cascading control panel menu on your start menu. Sure. Very handy way to access the control panel. We showed you a complicated way to do it. All you have to do is click a checkbox here in the start menu. You can do the same thing with your printer and your history folder. You don't want your favorites folder visible? Remove it. Same thing with the documents folder. Remove the log off option. Force start menu items to be alphabetical. Bada bing, bada boom. It does it all. It slices, it dices. Ladies and gentlemen, it makes beautiful julienne fries just that.
That's very cool.
Isn't that nice?
I like that, yeah.
That's just one tab. There's 7. You can also change some registry information. It even has some tweaks for Microsoft Office. So if you're an Office user, you'll like these. In fact, there's a whole bunch of Office tweaks. This is a really nice package. Basically, almost all of these, in fact, I would be willing to say all of them are registry changes. Easier to do it this way. You could do it, of course, by hand.
That's right. I've done some of the things you just mentioned in the registry, but a lot harder than just clicking a checkbox.
Yeah, this is a very simple program. I think worth the $15, but use it for 15 days for free. Make the changes you want, and you're done. It's downloadable from the ZDNet software library at hotfiles.com. Tweak I. Tweak UI minus the U, Tweak I, and of course you can go to the website for the screensavers, screensavers.com, for step-by-step instructions and all of our Windows tips from past glory days.
All right, now we received an email from John, and he asks, is there a DVD burner out there yet that records onto bare discs rather than discs inside cartridges?
I am so glad because
this is a great question.
I'm excited about DVD burners. What he's talking about is the current standard, which is the DVD RAM.
And this is the type that burns discs that are housed inside cartridges. Let me just explain.
There's the cartridge right there.
That there has been a vicious standards war going on for about the past 2 or more years between DVD RAM, the one with the cartridges, and another one, DVD plus RW. The big difference is that one has cartridges. DVD plus RW does not. The other big
there's another difference. You can only get
plus
DVD RAM
RW
now.
is not around yet, right?
This is about $500, which is fairly reasonable. Yeah. It will record, 5.2 gigabytes.
On the double-sided one. Single-sided, 2.6.
Yeah, and that's kind of one thing you should know. It's 2.6 per side. Yes. And once you format it, it's even less than that. It does require these cartridges. These things aren't cheap.
No, they're $40 for the double-sided ones, $25 for the single-sided ones.
But they are faster than a CDR, and they do everything a CDR will do.
Now, this one is backed by Panasonic, Hitachi, and some other big players. This one, Sony, Philips, HP, and Hewlett-Packard. The interesting thing about that...
Wait, slow down. That's DVD plus RW.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's DVD plus RW, okay. The one they've been saying is going to come out for 2 years.
In fact, if you go to the Philips site, they said it will be out in the fall of 99, I guess.
Yes.
No, sorry, I didn't make it.
Meanwhile, the DVD RAM people say, well, the reason they keep saying it's going to come out is because they hold the patent on CD technology. They get a little money every time a CD is made, and they want to extend that technology to DVD age. Okay.
I have another theory, which is that the movie companies are panicked. They're not worried about DVD RAM. The disadvantage of RAM right now is it'll only play back in a RAM drive,
right,
or some of the new
Panasonic and Hitachi DVDs.
And it really isn't suitable for recording a DVD movie, because it doesn't hold the 4.7 gigs that a standard DVD holds on one side.
All right. I have another theory.
The DVD plus RW does all of that, and I think that they're worried the movie industry, in fact, probably the movie industry is going, please don't release this, because people will be copying our movies. All right.
So anyway, all the while this standards war is going on, there's yet a third option called DVD-R.
There's another one
put out by Pioneer.
So let's do this again. DVD RAM is by Panasonic
and Hitachi main players.
That's out now, $500. Has some limitations, requires a DVD RAM player or some of the new DVDs.
And then they said DVD plus RW, which was Sony, Philips, and HP.
But that will be let's talk about that. That's going to be 4.7 gigs. That's going to record on a standard cartridge-less CD or DVD blank. And what else?
And then DVD-R is the third one. That's the one you're holding in your hand right now. This is out now. That's out right now. It's been out for a little while.
Okay. Does it require a cartridge?
Doesn't require a cartridge. 4.7 gigabytes on the disc.
4.7 on one side.
Double-sided ones are going to come out to be 9.4 gigs.
Wow.
Now, the problem with this, and this is really a great one, because you can record actual DVD-ROMs or just regular DVDs that you can play on your living room's DVD player.
This will work on any DVD player, computer, or consumer.
Problem with it is, two problems. First one is it costs $5,400.
This 6 months ago it was $17,000.
That's right. It just got down to $17,000.
$5,400 is a good price.
The other problem with it is, unlike the DVD RAM, it cannot play CDs. It can only play the DVDs.
It's a DVD player
dedicated to that.
Now this is intriguing because we recorded we tried it. We recorded the Windows CD in about 5 or 6 minutes.
Very fast. They say it's 1x DVD speed, but that translates into about 9x CD speed, which is very quick.
So it would be a fast recorder of data. It will record movies. They will play back. It's $5,400. The question now, I guess we have to ask is, when is DVD plus RW coming out? How much will it cost? Nobody's saying. And will this price drop?
Right. Well, they say it's coming out in 2001. My personal suspicion is the reason they dropped their other specification for DVD plus RW is because this This DVD-R of Pioneer is going to be the new DVD Plus
So you
RW.
think this is the format of the future?
I think that's what they're going to go with.
Right.
It's a proven technology. It works very well. We tried it here today. This is what they're going to go with.
All right. Now, this right now is R, not RW.
That's right.
There will be an RW down the road. $5,400. Yeah, it can only write once right now.
Yeah.
Fill up the disk, you're done. Of course, 4.7 gigs, that seems enough. This is right now very expensive. But remember, in the early days of CD recorders, they were also thousands of dollars. I think you're probably right. The price will come down on DVD-R. It is a technology that's out now. We probably, wouldn't want to buy it now, although it does answer your question. It doesn't require a caddy. But down the road, this is going to be the one to get. And you know what? That's when CD and CDR goes away.
That's right.
And DVD takes over. Okay? Hope that answers your question. That's good stuff, Martin. Can't wait to get one of these. Now, Martin is going to head into chat if you want to ask him a question about DVD, DVD-R, DVD-RW. Up next, serenade your PC and get sheets of music in exchange. Is it possible? We'll show you how when the screensavers continues. See, I like it because it's also kind of pretty.
It's blue.
Look at that. Yeah.
It's got a different dialing.
ScreenSavers.com is the best place for more information about what's on this show. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Extra, extra, extra. The show notes are now online. The day after the email goes out, you can get the details about the answers to live calls we take on the show by going to ScreenSavers.com. So read it and subscribe or read it online. Either way, those show notes are just one more way we try to get as much information as possible into your brain via the Screensavers. Sing to your PC, and presto, notes appear on the screen. Let's find out if it's possible, how it all works from our friends at PC Magazine. Joining us right now, my good buddy Bill McCrone, contributing editor of PC Magazine, live via Netcam from beautiful Scotch Plains, New Jersey. Hello, Bill.
Good to see you, Leo.
Bill is a musician. I know you sing and perform in the church choir. Do you play guitar, too?
Sure do.
And I see a keyboard in front of you there. That's great.
Yeah, always got to have a keyboard handy.
Yeah. Bill, one of the things I love about you, Bill, is you are a computer nerd, of course, like all of us. You love computers. But you have such a broad range of interests. And it's fun because you bring those interests to your column in PC Magazine. In this issue of PC Magazine, the Best Products of the Year issue that came out, the first issue of the year 2000,
right.
You have a great column on music on the PC. Kind of a familiar column, though, Bill.
Well, yeah, that was our Y2K glitch. That's the exact same column that ran 1 year ago.
Well, I'm glad it ran again because it gave me a chance to get you on to talk about it because I think it's fascinating. Now, do you write music at all?
I've written a little bit. I can't say that I'm a great composer or anything, but every once in a while a song just pops into my head and I just have to write it down.
Now, normally, I guess what a composer would do, I know I've seen plenty of movies about Beethoven, is play it on the piano and then you write it, scratch it out on a piece of paper, right?
Right.
Okay. Is that how you work?
No, that's a thing of the past. Back in the bad old days, I would move the mouse one note at a time and click it.
Using Cakewalk or something like that, a MIDI composing program.
Yeah, those things work all right, but now I can actually, if I have a little phrase, I can just sing it to the PC, and using this program, Autoscore, the notes will just show up on the screen.
This is Autoscore right here. It's from WildcatCanyon.com, right?
Right.
And this is, you know what, the best way to demonstrate, and I am not a singer, but the best way to demonstrate is actually show you. So we've got it running here as part of a MIDI soft recording session. I'll press record, and I will hum a song. Now, give me some tips, some pointers.
Okay, you shouldn't actually sing lyrics because it's not a speech recognition or a words recognition program. It wants to recognize the notes. So if you say la, 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 just like that, it will do a better job for D.
All right, let me try it here. La, 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 la. I'm going to stop there because you probably had enough of that. Let's just play it back. It's not so good. I blame myself, and actually what I'm going to do is open something we recorded before the show. One thing I noticed with all of these is that it tends to put too many notes in. Is that what your experience has been too?
Yeah, you have to be a little bit careful about the rhythm with anything, whether you're recording from a keyboard or from your, singing to audio.
Does it work better with a keyboard or a guitar?
It's always a problem getting it to fit into the measures. It does the best job it can trying to figure out what you meant.
Right.
But the main thing...
Now, that's pretty close.
That's not bad.
I did that before the show. Again, too many notes in the measures, but the melody's there.
Yeah. And you can also constrain some of the settings.
Right.
You can set it so that it will only record in key, and it'll make up for our vocal deficiencies.
My vocal deficiencies. You'd be a lot better on this. But that's kind of neat. So for somebody who just wants to enter in a quick phrase, and then, of course, now I can modify it. I can assign different instruments. I've got it in there. And I can, of course, clean it up, too. I can make it the right number of notes per measure and things like that. That's cool. What else can we use for putting music in?
Well, once you've got it in there, sometimes, or if you're recording WAV files, and of course lots of people are recording WAV files and then converting them to MP3s and doing lots of other...
Now that raises a question we got on Call for Help today. Could I take a WAV file, play it back into this, and have it transcribe it?
Probably not, because there would be accompaniment and everything else.
It's too complicated.
Right. It wants to hear a single melody line. But you could use any number of software programs to isolate the melody, and a product like Cool Edit, for instance, which is a great shareware music editor and general sound editor, could help you do that. So
Cool Edit is downloadable, of course. It's a shareware program from the ZDNet software library.
Yep.
And if you like it, you'll spend the money because the download is fairly limited, but you'll spend the money and you'll get the commercial version, which including multi-track recording. This is really one of the most capable programs I've ever seen. It's quite amazing.
It's pretty incredible.
What about Slow Gold? I like this idea.
Oh, Slow Gold is great. This is really made for people who play by ear and want to learn how to play music by listening to a recording. Now, you can go out and buy a $100 or $200 or $300 hardware device that's in a little plastic box that can record 15 or 30 seconds worth of audio and then play it back more slowly but without changing the pitch. It doesn't roll like...
But we've all, maybe not all, but many of us who are trying to learn a lick or two on the guitar from a song will do that. We'll slow it down, and it's hard to learn. This will do it without changing the pitch. Exactly.
It stretches the notes out without changing the actual note.
Now, how much is this product?
The basic version of Slow Gold is $35.
Oh, I love that. And it does a pretty good job?
It does a great job. Things sound a little odd. Guitar notes sound more like they're being played on a cello or something because they're extended.
Right.
But, they now have a new product called Slow Blast, which only does a limited amount of slowdown, and it's only $20, $19.95 from the website.
That's great. And I love the name of the website, worldwidewoodshed.com.
That's right. We're always woodshedding.
Bill, I love it. I hope you'll keep woodshedding. I love your, what's the name of your website? It's really a great place to go.
Oh, billsbest.com.
Bill's Best. Best everything. I mean, all kinds of things. And you just get some sense of the breadth of Bill's interests. Always great pleasure talking to you, Bill McCrone. And next time you're out here, please come by, will you?
Sure will.
Bill McCrone is contributing editor from PC Magazine. It may be a repeat, but do read his column in the current PC Magazine, January 4th issue. Do you sing to your PC? And you should also check our website, because Bill wrote a great article about the varieties of music software. It's at thescreensavers.com. And, one of the great things about a computer, if you had a hobby or something you were interested in as a kid or a younger person, the computer can often bring it back in whole new ways and really get you started all over again. So it's a lot of fun. If you liked music as a kid, this would be a great way to start up again. Thank you, Bill. See you later. Now, folks, don't you go anywhere. I'm not saying see you later to you. Still to come on this very show, what the heck is double buffering and why might you want it? Also, more answers to your toughest computing questions and some great software recommendations from kids from 9 months to 9 years. All that and more as the Screensavers rolls on. Welcome back to the Screensavers. I'm Leo Laporte.
And I'm Martin Sargent in for Kay Patella, who's on assignment checking the Y2K compatibility of her Etch-a-Sketch.
So far, early reports are today. It's okay. Today in the chat room, we're asking you if you spend more time online than you used to. Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it going sideways? This is all based on this guy, .com guy.
.com guy, yeah. Really nothing new he's doing. He's locked himself in the house for a year, living off the internet. And I was thinking during the break,
doing that for years.
Yeah, people have done this stunt before. That's all it is.
Sure.
Stunt.
It's a stunt.
You know, my internet use has gone up a little bit just for things like checking movie times, maybe ordering a little, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
I love that. I mean, that's a really handy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
If I
actually,
lose the newspaper.
having a full-time internet connection, high-speed internet connection, has changed it for me because as long as my computer's on, I'm online. I don't have to wait for the dial-out or anything.
Full-time is the key.
That's the key.
Once you go there, then
DSL or cable modems, either one will do it. And ISDN is almost fast enough that it's like full-time. So
Sure.
it dials out really quickly. Anyway, here's a chance for you to let us know. Are you spending more time online than ever before. Take our web poll at thescreensavers.com. Do click the talkback feature so you can tell us the details, the intimate details of your online time.
I don't know about that. Or join us in the chat room at chat.zdnet.com.
It is asking for trouble, isn't it? Bruce joins us on the ZDTV 3Com Netcam network from Pasadena, California. Bruce, how are ya?
Leo, hello, Martin.
Loved your parade, man. It was fabulous.
Thank you very much.
Did you actually go out to see the Rose Parade, or do most people who live in Pasadena just stay home?
Well, this year I stayed home, but sometimes I go out and watch a little bit of it.
It's got to be a zoo, though.
Yeah, it is, but it's fun.
Yeah. I saw a movie over the holiday called Blast from the Past. You know that movie?
No.
The guy, his parents have been keeping him in a bomb shelter his whole life. She's telling him to get married. His mom said, marry a girl from Pasadena. They're nicer. They're nicer there. So some nice people in Pasadena. Bruce is one of them. What can we do for you, Bruce?
Thank you. You being one of them, I have people that I want to send attachments to.
Yes.
But they don't accept attachments.
He's talking about me.
Yep.
I won't accept attachments because for security reasons.
Sure, you can get viruses, all types of stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? If I weren't a public figure, I might be more likely to. But we've told people, and this is really the number one way viruses get spread now, is attachments. Now, EXEs are bad. Of any kind, and I will not open an EXE. I don't care, if you send it to me. If you send it to me, unless you called me up and said, this is not a virus, I sent this to you, and even then I would kind of give you a little piece of my mind for sending it to me.
I don't open them either. But that's because my friends send me scandalous stuff, and I might get fired. You never know.
That's a good reason not to open. I don't open .docs or .xls's because those have macro capabilities. Now, you can, of course, there's ways around this. If you have a virus program that will search. The problem is these virus programs aren't up to date anymore.
That's right. You constantly
it
update.
happens all the time, and this stuff propagates so fast via email that you can't keep up with it. Also, if you open a .xls or a .doc, you'll see the thing. This contains macros. You want to execute them. If you say no, you're probably safe.
So what do you do in a situation like this? They won't accept them. Is there a way? I mean, you can't really force it through, can you?
Well, what is it you want to send, Bruce?
Well, I wanted to send pictures. I got this book right here.
Pictures are safe, of course.
Of 101 things you can do about your computer by a guy named Leo Laporte, and it's in Chinese.
Are you
I
kidding
wanted to send
me?
you a copy of it.
That's a Chinese version of my book?
It sure is.
They never told me about that.
I read it in Bengali.
That's my book?
That's your book in Chinese.
Wow. That's very cool. Well, I would like to see that. I'll tell you. So basically, here's how I would do it if I were going to do that. I would, just as you've done now, Bruce, I would say, call me or email me ahead of time saying, I am going to send you some stuff.
Uh-huh.
How would you like me to send it to you? And is it okay I send it to you? And by the way, it's going to be this. My message will say this. This is not, because what happens with these viruses is they send a message that it will say, hi, this is Bruce. Here's those files you requested. Literally, that's what one of the viruses does. It says, these are the files you requested. That's what Melissa said.
Very
now, if you had called me the day before and said, I'm going to send you some files, and then accidentally sent me Melissa, that would be bad.
Yeah.
No. So what you need to do is call right before, or email right before, say, I'm going to send you some files, what format they're going to be in, will you accept them, and then maybe, yes, that would be a different story.
What I would do, Bruce, is send Leo an email and say, these things are up on the web. Post the pictures to your web page or whatever it is you want to show. There's no danger in that.
Right.
All he has to do is click on the link and he sees what you're going to send him.
And I am being a little over scrupulous. A picture can't infect you, at least so far. A RTF file, an AVI file. Those are all probably safe. I'm just worried that somebody's going to come up with a way to infect me that way.
Yeah, and you of all people.
I don't want to take the chances. I have been infected, and I no longer open attachments. And most of the time, you don't need to send attachments. You have a very good reason to send an attachment. And so you've done the right thing. So now, Bruce, I'm going to look for some email from you that will come tonight, and it'll be those attached files, and those I will open.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, Bruce, we helped you out. Why don't you help us out by taking us to break, please?
Sure.
That's cool.
Thanks, Martin and Leo. We'll have a few software recommendations for kids when the Screensavers continue.
Yeah. Thanks, Bruce.
Yep.
the Screensavers Online Super Geek Challenge to learn more about your favorite toy, the computer. This week, how much do you know about the care and feeding of your computer? Take the quiz and find out. It's all at the Screensavers.com guide.
You feed your computer?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got little cookie crumbs in the keyboard. But congratulations to John from Hagerstown, Indiana, the winner of yesterday's Super Geek Quiz. He got a T-shirt or a cap, as seen on TV. And if you want to do the same, you can. All you got to do is fill out that form after you've taken the quiz for your chance to win. As promised, here she is, Sumi Das, with software recommendations for the young'uns on today's Fresh Gear.
If you already have kids, you know they can use a computer practically when they're first born. So for the earliest possible interaction, the Learning Company has published Playtime for Baby. This title is geared toward babies ages 9 to 24 months, with mom's help, of course. It's a super simple interface that utilizes the mouse or any keyboard button to provide a colorful romp through a playroom of toys. There are 11 activities to choose from, including this eye-pleasing kaleidoscope with changeable patterns. My Storybook allows you and your child to read along, and as an extra bonus, you can add your baby's own face and voice to the story. Additionally, you and your baby can explore emotions with faces and feelings, among a host of other fun learning activities. We give Playtime for Baby from the Learning Company 4 out of 5 stars. It costs $30 and is available now. The Sesame Street Music Maker by Mattel will interest children ages 3 and up. This software is both informative and adorable, featuring 8 charming activities. It's all about learning how to create music. Arranging sound stickers in 6 different environments and trying to make them sound good is not an easy feat. Find out about and play music with different instruments from around the world, or simply dance and sing along with memorable Sesame Street characters.
Believe in yourself.
We give the Sesame Street Music Maker from Mattel 5 out of 5 stars. It costs $20 and is available now. Now, if you've got someone running around the house between 4 and 6, you're in luck. It's the Learning Company again with another educational wonder, Arthur's Kindergarten. Apparently, Arthur wants to build a treehouse but has no money. So your child must help Arthur get the items to build it by helping others. Each person you help will give you something Arthur needs to build the treehouse. The activities can be easy, medium, or hard in difficulty and consist of developmental games that teach children 18 important ideas through more than 50 activities, like sequencing and pattern recognition, which they learn by helping Vinky and Arthur put these windows in the correct order. And you can print out activities for your tykes to do with their friends. We give Arthur's Kindergarten from the Learning Company 4 out of 5 stars. It costs $30 and is available now. Finally, young ones ages 6 to 8 are in for a real treat with Yoda's Challenge Activity Center by Lucas Learning. This title teaches music, math, critical thinking, and reading, among other skills. From Yoda's Council Chamber, would-be Jedi select one of 6 missions that deposit fans both on Tatooine and Naboo. The missions themselves prove fun and educational, with 4 degrees of difficulty in each. Here, players learn musical rhythms while trapping droids, or they can simply make music themselves by jamming with a cantina band. Fixing Queen Amidala's computer teaches basic geometry, and kids pick up map reading skills while exploring the Gungan Caves. We give Yoda's Challenge Activity Center from Lucas Learning 5 out of 5 stars. It costs $30 and is available now.
And you can catch a new Fresh Gear every Friday afternoon at 1:30, 12:30 Central, right here on CDT.
I'm not going to let my kids have any of those. Outside. Get some fresh air, kids. Hey, we got an email from Test. That's his name. He says, I ran a utility called SciSoft Sandra 99 Pro. We've talked about that. It advised I turn off double buffering. Huh? Now the machine will not complete the boot up. Thanks, Sandra. Is double buffering required with SCSI devices even though nothing else is in the system? SCSI buffering do's and don'ts, and who to listen to and who not to when the Screensavers continues. So Test, why do I think that's not his real name? Sent us an email saying, I ran a utility called Sandra 99 Pro. We've talked about it before. It advised I turn off double buffering. Now the machine won't complete the boot. Is double buffering required with SCSI devices, even though nothing else is in the system? A couple of things. First of all, while I do like Sandra for reporting information, I loathe Sandra for the advice it gives. It almost always gives incorrect or bizarre advice.
She's no good.
The artificial intelligence built into that thing is goofy. Okay, so I would not advise asking Sandra for advice. Sandra's great for saying what kind of processor you have, how fast your computer, all that stuff, but just not great for giving you advice. So, what was the advice, and what is SCSI double buffering, and why did it say to turn it off? SCSI double buffering comes from the old days of SCSI cards. It has to do with the way memory is addressed. As you probably know, when Windows is running, you would do a memory address. You're actually asking for memory in an area that's different from where Windows has it.
I see.
So Windows is actually getting in the way, and without some sort of mechanism of interpreting the memory address request, you will lose, it won't work. So the older SCSI controllers were basically confused by Windows memory addressing scheme.
Okay.
Double buffering fixed that. Not necessary on new SCSI controllers. Double buffering is normally disabled. In fact, if you launch your system configuration utility in Windows 98, use SCSI double buffering. If you have an IDE machine, it will be grayed out. If you do have SCSI, you'll have the opportunity. It's safe to turn on SCSI double buffering. Here's where it's turned on, by the way. It's turned on in the file msdos.sys, which, remember, in the old days of DOS, used to be a binary program file. In the modern days of Windows 95 and 98, msdos.sys is actually just a text file. In fact, the easiest way to open it is I'm going to open my notepad here real quickly and drag msdos.sys into the notepad.
Then once you get that open, you would just find that line.
If SCSI double buffering is enabled, you'll find a line that says
and then you would change it from a 1 to a 0.
Well, there's 3 states. Here it is, double buffer equals 1, and that's actually the state you want. 0 means never have double buffering, and in fact is probably a dangerous setting. 2 is forced double buffering, also not necessarily what you want to do. 1 means conditional double buffering. If you set it to 1, Windows is smart enough to look at your card, see if it needs double buffering, and turn it on if it does. If it doesn't, turn it off. Double buffering only uses a couple of kilobytes of memory. It's harmless, and in most cases is unnecessary unless you have an older SCSI card. So the best thing to do is go into msdos.sys, say double buffer equals 1. This is only if you have SCSI devices. If you don't have a SCSI card, forget it. Don't even worry about it. You didn't even hear this conversation. Okay? Oliver joins us on the phone from Fairhope, Alabama. Hello, Oliver.
Hey, Leo.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Say hi to Martin.
Hey, Martin.
He's filling in for Kate.
What's up, Oliver?
Kate's taking the week off. What can we do for you?
Well, I want to know how to put a password on my site so only certain people who know the password can get in.
You don't want bad guys to come see your site, huh?
Right.
Right. Well, there's a lot of ways to do it. Generally, it requires some JavaScript. Have you done any JavaScript programming?
Not at all.
All right. Good. You're about to learn, Oliver. How old are you?
I'm 11.
Good time to learn. Man, if I'd learned JavaScript when I was 11, I'd only be 15 today because JavaScript was invented about 4 years ago. So here is the site I'm going to send you to. It's called devhead.com. It's the ZDNet web developer site. Lots of great stuff on here, including scripts, JavaScript scripts, including JavaScript password scripts you can cut and paste in, okay? So what you do is you go to JavaScript, you enter password, you spell it right, which you probably would do because you're 11, and you'll find the scripts that you want in here, and you can cut and paste them. Try it at home before you do it, okay? In other words, don't put it online until you've got it working. We even have in our web workshop, which Allison Silicon Alley does on Call for Help, we even have a script or two in there. But basically, a good one's going to require JavaScript. A really good one's going to require CGI. These are not 100% secure, but they're good enough to keep the casual snoop out of your site, which is probably what you want to do, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, Oliver, learn JavaScript, or just cut and paste.
Hey, can I get an autographed picture?
Hang on the line, and Martin will be glad to send you one. Okay?
But no.
All right, we'll get Kate and Leo, too. Take care, Oliver. Thanks for the call.
Take it easy, Oliver.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. How about you record and send us a video email? There's instructions and scripts available at thescreensavers.com. Just click on Interact to find out more. And we'll be right back with some closing thoughts, some parting shots, and Screensavers will continue
right after this. Welcome back to the Screensavers. Here's the preliminary results of our web poll. 68% say, yeah, we spend more time online. It's all available. You still have 24 hours to vote, though, so that vote might change it to thescreensavers.com.
All right. This here is the part of the show where we like to share some of the hundreds of emails we receive right here every day. I got one from Alex in Puerto Rico. He wants a video conferencing software solution that he can use on both PCs and Macs. I would suggest CUCMe, developed by my alma mater, Cornell.
That's right.
You can get it probably at CUCMe.com or the new maker, WhitePineSoftware.com.
Right. And that's a great cross-platform solution we use all the time.
It's the original.
NetMeeting does not work. It's because it's Windows only. Angela, we were watching the Screensavers. You reviewed a book in your Geek Library segment. I didn't write down the name or the author. Of course, all that stuff's always on the website, screensavers.com. If I remember correctly, the book was about a hacker getting into a computer system. Yeah, that was Cuckoo's Egg. Cuckoo's Egg by Cliff Stoll, S-T-O-L-L. A great mystery story about hacking. And, yeah, a good read. I think you'll enjoy it for your holiday read. Here's one. A few shows ago, Leo said about a site we could download newspapers for our PDAs. She mistyped it. Or Mark mistyped it. He said AventGo. It's actually Avant.
With an A.
Yeah, AVANTGO.com. Have time for some more? Yes. Well, here, you take half and I'll take half. All right. Excuse us. We should have done this before this. During the break. One of the advantages of converting from FAT16 to FAT32, and of course Windows 98 comes with a FAT32 converter. The advantage is FAT32 is much more efficient. It can have larger hard drives. It stores them more efficiently so that you can get more data on the same hard drive. Highly recommend you do it. In fact, I can't think of any really reasons not to go to FAT32.
No.
It is definitely the file system of choice if you're using Windows 95 or Windows 98 only.
Nick says, I read that CDRWs can be helpful, but also can be interrupted while recording, which causes problems. Yes, that's true, but it doesn't happen that much nowadays. They got much bigger buffers than they did back in the day. Most people don't have that many problems. I would say go with the CDRW. They're a lot cheaper than they used to be, and they're a really great solution for storage.
I'm saving this one for tomorrow. But it starts, what's the deal with Win modems? When are reputable journalists going to tell everyone in plain language these modems are junk?
We have.
We do it every day. That's it for this edition of, we'll do the rest tomorrow. That's it for this edition of the Screensavers. I'm Leo Laporte.
And I'm Martin Sargent. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Screensavers.
Believe in next technology, my friend, but make sure you get a little time out in the fresh air, too, all right? See you later. Bye-bye.